Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. This is a special video today, and it's the brainchild of Carrie the Paper Monkey, and she's calling it hashtag Tag Your Turn. Now, just to give you an idea of how considerate this woman is, she wrote me an email this evening. Or I don't know when she wrote it, but I read it this evening, and basically said, I'd like to tag you, but I also know it's your busy season. So before she posts anything, she just kind of wanted my okay. And I'm thinking, well, that's pretty considerate, and she's paying attention. If you're new here, you may not know that that we're farmers, and it is harvest time, and I operate a combine. So, kind of on pins and needles. We haven't yet started. We're a little bit, we're not the first ones out of the blocks to get going, but it's one of those things where you get about half an hour's notice. Okay, we're going. So I only hesitated for a nanosecond before replying to her and saying, yes, I'd love to. I have been crafting my little heart out all day today. If you are a viewer of my channel and a subscriber, you may know that I have a series called Get Her Done, with my apologies to Larry the Cable Guy. Neither of us should be wearing those kinds of sleeveless shirts. Let me just say that at the outset. Anyway, the premise of the series is that I randomly draw a theme or a cover, like a scrap of paper that tells me which project I'm going to get onto next. They're projects that are in various stages of completion. It may be as little as a cover. It may be, just a little bit more than that. Anyway, the ones that I'm currently working on are tree journals. I thought it was going to be one. It's looking like it's going to be probably 4. So I was working my heart out at that, and I thought, well, okay, I have all this stuff around me. I can do this. I can do this tonight. Sorry if the lighting is less than ideal, but it is after 9, and I'm using all this artificial light. Anyway, long story short, I was in the process of making a master board when I got the email. Now, this is just on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It is sort of cardstock weight. It's got a little bit of a mottled thing. It's kind of off-white or creamy in color. Anyway, if you are old enough, you may remember when paper toll was a thing. Now, I don't know, probably a hard wiring of my brain kind of an issue. I never could get the hang of that. However, my mom was very good at it. So in the last year or so, I've come across some of these pieces, and if you did do paper toll or remember it, you know that people used 6 or 8 of the same print and cut various components off it. And I think on this one there was an owl, so basically you kind of worked on every little feather on that bird. So I had all these pieces that were sort of, really random, and I thought, okay, this is a tree. Why don't I put it to use? So basically I just glued all this down. I think it's now dry enough to cut up. Now normally I'd probably take this to my paper cutter, but of course that's way over there. So I'm just going to use this quilter square and figure out how I want to cut this. You know what? A lot of people like to do it blind, so let's just do it blind. I used to just sort of cringe when I saw people pull out this sort of gizmo, because I thought, oh my goodness, it looks so unwieldy. But then when I gave it a try, I really like it, because there are so many opportunities to square things up and make sure that, in fact, you know, you're cutting right angles and so on. So that's basically 8 inches. So we'll just sort of split the difference here and make. So if you get it straight, if you get your edges straight, I hope you can see this. So I'm lined up here on this line, and it doesn't matter which line, and I then get it straight on the side, then we know that this is going to be a perfect straight 90-degree cut. I will probably, okay, this is 8.5, I guess. Yes. Well, let's maybe do a 5 and a 3. Again, it's just pretty random. You have more options, obviously, if you're using a 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper, but I'm not, so we make do with what we're doing. Okay, so I'll do another 5 and another 3. And I really don't have any idea in mind other than I've pulled out all kinds of things that that I've prepped in the past and then never used. This one I'll probably do 4.5. No, 4 1/4. We'll make it half. So if you're at all like me, crafting along with somebody, you know, just doing sort of whatever your little heart desires is great, but it also means that a person ends up with a heck of a lot of either bases or completed projects. And if you don't use them, you know, it's kind of like, why did you go through the effort? I kind of need to trim something here. Anyway, so case in point, die cuts. Or I mean, yeah, die cuts. Let's figure out which one I want to use here. And I'll get rid of the rest. I think I'll get rid of the smallest ones for the time being and choose one of these two. Case in point, die cuts. So let me just show you some of the things that I've pulled out. So I've got this one, which I love. Now, oh, this is going to be too big, so I won't be able to use that. So I've got a couple of those. So I'll have to use them elsewhere in my journal. I have a couple of spruce trees, which I also love. I tend to like kind of weird stuff, you know, things that are less than maybe expected. So this matches perfectly with the green that's in here. Mind you, this is so busy, it could be getting lost on there as well. I think what I'm going to have to do... Oh, I should show you a few of the other die cuts that I have. We don't want these stars or flowers or whatever they are. But I've got a bunch of leaves. I've got some birds. little tags like that. Okay, I think that I need to do a bit of layering here because right now I don't feel very good about putting any of this stuff on here because it will be lost in the busyness of this thing. So I have a couple of choices. I can gesso it quick like, kick or knock back the color. I could add sewing paper. I could don't have any vellum or anything like that within reach. I could also add some book page, I guess, but I don't know if that really thrills me that much. That's music. I didn't want this to take on a life of its own. I also have, you know, these pages from old books that are so lovely. Small dictionary pages. This kind of stuff. See, normally I would have figured some of this stuff out before turning on the camera. Let's just start tearing some stuff down and see what we get. I mean, certainly, we all love to collage. I think that's a fair statement. Let's just see if that kind of frames that. Oops. But does it do enough? Another thing I could do is let's just see if obviously that stands out better on a solid. The other thing I was thinking is I could also very carefully sort of darken up these trees. I'm going to be very sad if I end up tearing it though. This is ground espresso. So I'll just, mind you, you know what else I could do? I don't have to, well, careful, 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 hold your breath. I think this is a clever thing that Carrie came up with. And one thing I'm going to have to clarify with her before I post this. Oh, it would have been good to know that before I videotape since I don't know how to edit. I was gonna, let's just introduce some green here as well and see what we get. You would not believe the chaos here. Okay, I'm not like some people, I don't have a million with these inks. Where the heck are my green ones? See, evergreen bow, but that is not at all. You know what? I think I had them. Ugh. Sorry. Oh, here they are. Here they are, except they're not green either. Oh, I see more. I have these high hopes of, here's some green ones. Here's a green one. I intended to do quite a bit of, stamping and so on in one of my videos, but so far I haven't gotten there. I need a green brush. Let's try this one. Is that even visible, or is that just making mud? Yeah, I started to say I don't know whether or not anyone who's been tagged is supposed to tag someone in their video. I'm not sure about that. Okay, where's the other tree? Let's move some of this out of the way. That is just great. You did see two trees here, right? Oh, I found it. Actually, maybe this one is a better one to use. It's, well, probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, let's try some green on this one before I add any brown. How about mowed lawn? Maybe that's a little brighter. Ooh, a little too bright probably. Yikes, I almost tore it. So I'm just kind of haphazardly doing this so that it doesn't look like, oh, she colored the tree green. Maybe I could add another green. And that's how you transfer color from one stamp pad to another. Oh, see, almost blotting it on seems to give an effect too. Cool. It seems I only have 2 of those trees, so we have to make do with that. Okay. I think that I kind of prefer the more solid backdrop. Okay, this, I've been using quite a bit of this stuff lately. It is salvaged from an old scrapbook that I bought and took apart. So I've got all kinds of rough pieces, holy pieces. Maybe that's not the size I need. I'll make this one work. It is pretty fragile. Now, I don't think scrapbooking or scrapbook paper was ever very robust in the first place. I think this is from the scrapbook that I bought from a guy that had been in the armed forces, and he glued absolutely everything into his scrapbook. Do I like the side with... No. Brown. Let's do brown. Anyway, he had menus, currency, like paper money, a pair of little kid gloves, like I guess his own when he was a child. What else was kind of unusual? Membership cards, wedding invitations. Like, he had everything. Do I have an up and a down here? Probably doesn't matter. Okay, let's start gluing something. I'll just move this up here. I have a subscriber who, believe it or not, watched every single one of my videos for the 100-day project that I did starting in, well, I can't remember when I started, but it finished at the end of June. Every single one. And I'm thinking, holy cow, that's awesome. And I think commented on every single one, which is even more incredible and helpful to a YouTube creator. Anyway, and I'm sure that this is true, that in some of those videos, I was very clearly not totally on screen all the time. Now, I keep telling myself that I've gotten better, and I think I have. However, would you believe that she offered to send me, and this is an American woman, to send me a tablet that, through the magic of technology, Bluetooth, I guess, and maybe some mirroring app, I guess. Is it app? Yeah, I guess. I would be able to see what you see and make sure that I'm constantly in. Now, I was shocked. I was humbled. I ultimately said, as much as I appreciate that, I can't accept it. Like, I have Apple Mac products, so there's always that compatibility thing. I do have an iPad, which I really never use. So anyway, after harvest, I said I would look into that. But in the meantime, obviously, I would like to. I'd like to be in frame as much as possible for Deanne and others. Anyway, I couldn't believe the generosity. Maybe if I had my brayer handy, I'd just give this a little roll to try to get good contact. Okay, now that thing is in position. So if I just add these two trees, does that a tag make? Or do we need something else? I think that's pretty cool. Okay, I am going to just bite the bullet and do it. So, you know, for something like this, it is obviously finicky to get the art glitter glue on there. But I have to say, is this not the best glue ever? I mean, I can't believe that I didn't know this stuff existed. When I first started watching YouTube videos and had just heard about junk journals, and, you know, it was like starting school. Didn't know the words, didn't know the lingo, didn't know the insider jargon, didn't know the name dropping that was going on. And people kept talking about art glitter glue. I'm thinking, what in the world are they talking about? It's such an oxymoron type name. I asked at Michael's. They didn't know what the heck I was talking about. Whoa, big blob. And then I went into a scrapbooking store and they had it. It was expensive, but you know, when I sort of did the comparison of the 2 ounce, the 4 ounce, the 8 ounce, I ended up buying a 16 ounce one. Just because, of course, that is much cheaper. Okay, let's make sure this tree is growing straight and true and strong. So I'm still on that first bottle, and of course I have this one, which is 4 ounces. And it just killed me to have to buy that point and that stainless steel pin. But what good would this be without it? And in case you're ever thinking, oh, if you lose your pin and you think, oh, big deal. Trust me, a normal pin will rust and turn your glue brown. And how you might ask, how do you know that, Hazel? Well, because I did it, of course. So I like to save where I can, but where I can't, I sort of try to graciously. Why is it gobbing up like that? Where I can't, where it's false economy, to try that, to try to save, I just try to graciously accept. Anyway, I hope you guys are all well. I hope that you're making tags or signatures or journals or ephemera or fussy cutting. Oh, the day that I'm doing this, I had to take the car yet again to a tire shop because they had done a boo-boo on a brake job. that caused a whole bunch of other problems. Anyway, the brakes were squealing. And it's so embarrassing. I felt like trailer trash, I guess in the country it doesn't matter, but if you're having to stop at every red light in the city, and there are pedestrians and people around you, and your brakes are squealing, it's not a good look. Anyway, long story short, every other time I've been there, they've given me a courtesy truck, and I just go about my business and, do some things and, try to multitask and not let the day be a total write-off. Anyway, today when I asked about a vehicle, they were all in use. So I ended up staying in there. And not that, they have a sort of a waiting room for people to sit and wait and so on. But my goodness, the off gases from the millions of tires they have there just make me sick. Instant headache. Okay, I think all this needs probably, I'm not really that big an inker, but I will in this case because I have a little bit of a kind of, my collaging was perhaps less than perfect. Oh, another thing I have within reach here is all this old tape. But I'm not going to throw that into we don't have to throw everything at this one tag. Okay, maybe we'll go with the brown again. Anyway, so I had a headache the whole time I was there, which was 2 hours. But I packed my little traveling craft thing, and I was fussy cutting my little heart out. Nobody asked me what I was doing. I didn't make conversation with anyone else. No one else was there as long as I was. But I thought to myself, isn't this kind of awesome that I'm getting this done? So there are some images out of a magazine that I hope to use that I will use in my next art journaling video. So pretty happy with that, guys. Now maybe the last and final touch will be to add some sort of a tag. Or do I want to add, some of this stuff that is still on my desk. How does that look? So if you haven't seen these before, these were images that I stamped on coffee dyed muslin, I guess, and then just sort of stitched around. So the 2 different colors of that one. This is just a little, this is getting big though. These might even be too big also. Wouldn't it have been good to think of that before I glued the trees down? I could do that. Doesn't really cover up the trees, and that's probably... Yeah, I'll go with the darker one. So what do? I throw it away. Okay. Yeah, I think it has to be that way. So I'll kind of crease it in the hope that it tells me where the halfway mark is. And I will use Again, you know, this is a little anal, but I kind of don't like things that are cockeyed. So I'll use this centering ruler. So basic, well, I should do it so that I can make in a shadow here, and I don't want to stick my head in the way. Okay, so basically you kind of guess where the center is, and then you look off to the side and you see if you're right, and then you kind of adjust. So not quite 1.5 inches either side. So we'll call that the center right there. I will use, you know what, I think maybe I'll just use glue stick, because our glitter glue might seep through, and we don't want that. Yuck. Okay, so there's my mark. Now, of course, I don't have the center marked on this little fabric thing. Boy, I really saturated that. Did cover part of that tree up. Maybe I can. It feels like it could use a number. Let me see if I can find something fast, like. Oh, sorry guys. When I pull the when I pull these little drawers, oh, sorry, it hits the. Oh, you know what? I can just take something off here, maybe. It's even got a part of a bit of green on there. Or do I like the one better? Doesn't take up as much space. Now, the future of the world depends on this decision. That's why I'm taking my time. This is an Artie Mays freebie, I think. Flourish. Yes, the future of the world depends on this decision. She said sarcastically. Maybe that black is nice because it grounds it. And I guess if it touches a branch, it's okay. Probably ODing on the green there. Goodness, are you people screaming at home? Just glue something down. Ay, ay, ay. That is what I'm doing. So the hashtag, I wrote it down here. Where is it? Where is it? Tag your turn. Will be obviously in the description of the, I mean in the title of the video. And the all the particulars will be in the description box. And I guess if I'm supposed to tag someone, I will figure that out and do it in another video, because at this point I'm not clear. Okay, guys, I think now there's this. Oh, goodness. There's that hole there. Do I have to put a little bird? Now, when I say little bird, you are not going to believe this. I meant to gather all these guys up today and put them in a tiny little bag. They're different. Whoops. I'm just fish. They've been kicking around on the desk for probably a week or two. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to lose them. We can't have red. Can we? Oh my goodness. Can hardly pick these guys up. Where is the one in flight? I thought I had one of those left. Ah. Look at. Whoops. Do I have to? You know what I'm going to. Whoa. You know what I'm going to do here. Yes. Oh dear. Why is this glue coming out like that? Soon I'm going to have a big mess here to clean up. Let me try to get some of that off. This bird is coming in for a landing. Try to pick a part of my hand that doesn't have any glue on it. Oh dear. Yeah, cool. Anyway, that is the video. Thank you again, Carrie, for tagging me. It's been my pleasure to do this. And I'll find out the particulars. If I am supposed to tag someone else, then clearly I'll have to do it in another video. In the meantime, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will decide to do so. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for your support and your loyalty, your comments, your likes, your thumbs up, your viewing minutes, and all of that stuff that YouTube cares about. And yeah, take care, stay well, and craft your little hearts out. See you. Bye.